All right. Welcome to the Monday Night Men's Forum. I am Matt of FarmHopLife. This is episode 54, Killing with Kindness. And we have Grant. Grant just jumped in. He's a guy. And then we have Christopher of SecureCoop.com.
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
We were off last week. And okay, Christopher, what is going on here?
Well, we're talking about killing with kindness, right?
Okay.
So I got, this is my personal event. I got in a Kevlar helmet, and it's unfinished Kevlar helmet. You can see there's no padding or anything, no straps, and I wanted to build that out and try that out. And so I said, you know what? We're talking about killing with kindness. Let's pull out the Kevlar helmet.
I still have my armor
the U.S. military does.
Hi, sorry, two people at once. What?
Is that what the U.S. military does? Is that we kill with kindness?
You kill with kindness.
Very literal.
That's the name of the drone that they strike children in Africa with.
They kill with something. Yeah. And
that's what they named their drones, kindness.
This guy was $13, and then you have to buy some straps to go with it. The Sportsman's Guide has these for sale on their website, and they're Italian unfinished Kevlar helmets, $13, and then the straps you get two for $7.50, and then you need pads too. I went and bought those off of AliExpress for $8, so for like around $30, you'll have a Kevlar helmet, and I'm excited about that. And I'm glad we didn't.
Gonna get into airsoft and to like practice your skills.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Whether we get to there or not, that's a different question. But that's a good idea. And I'm glad we didn't have a session or a podcast last week, because Sunday night I went to go turn my laptop on, and boop, totally dead. Motherboard.
Yeah, what happened there?
Yeah, it's the motherboard. I don't know. I just decided to quit. And so all day Monday, I'm trying to set up get myself lined up, and nothing's working right. So I was like, oh, that worked out good. But I'm probably appearing faster to you right now because I got a faster laptop. So maybe that makes me a little faster.
It's all about appearances.
Yep.
You're not actually faster. You just look faster.
Yeah, just look faster.
There you go.
Maybe
we won't have the fan noise either.
You don't hear it?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, then I think we're in success because I didn't do anything different.
Sweet. All right. Thank you, Grant.
Yep.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. All right. Grant.
I don't know. I finished out my finals last week.
Nice.
5 classes, aced every single one of them, and got an A in the class.
Yeah. All right.
Keeping that 4.0 GPA alive and well.
Nice.
I've been crunching a whole lot of numbers, reading books, creating plans. Really kind of focusing on what I'm going to do if we get this property in Adairsville. Building out my 14,000 square foot market garden, and really kind of going from there.
Sweet. Just playing that waiting game on the land then, huh?
Yeah, it still hasn't been surveyed yet. The waits for surveyors are like 3 months, and it's only been like a month and a half. So we got the mum pad, the mum pad. You got the market gardens. I have 2 plots. Each one's about 7,000 square feet. Then we're gonna have a grow tunnel, and that's just that. Then we're gonna have our chickens. It's gonna be a very busy first year, but hey, you got to start somewhere. Yep. I'd like to create a CSA first year. We do like a limit, a low limit of like 25 slots, $300 a year. Hey, but look, you don't get to pick what you get. You're guaranteed to get 100 pounds of produce each, and maybe a chicken or two with Thanksgiving turkey. Have a scale. It's like, okay, you want your Thanksgiving turkey, some chicken, and all that to kind of get you ready for what we're doing next year when we actually have this. Like, you're guaranteed to come in next year to have a slot if you want to return, but at a real price. Because the standard is $400 to $750 from what I found for CSA. And I need to talk to somebody who's actually worked or done a CSA so I can kind of understand it better.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm kind of getting a plan going, and it doesn't really look like there's going to be this. It sounds easy, and I know
No, it
how
doesn't.
difficult it is to. I know how difficult it is to raise animals. I know the problems they cause, but I mean raising out 300 birds sounds easy. Growing 14,000 square feet of vegetables sounds easy. You know what I mean? But it's
I think
just
it
a lot
sounds
of work.
simple. I don't
It
think
sounds simple.
easy.
It's like I said, yes, sorry. It sounds simple, not easy. But again, I'm not the kind of person who's not gonna put in the work.
Right.
So to me, it sounds extremely achievable, and I'm like, why aren't more people doing this? It's like
Because they don't actually want it. It's something you actually want.
Yes, I do want
it's that simple.
Because you can clear maybe 7,000 with the chickens, 20,000 with the moms, and you can probably clear 20,000 off the market garden. First year, I have a living salary that I can put back in for the second year while still working a full-time job with my girlfriend. So
Fiance.
Still, there's technicalities around that, but yes, still, yes.
Oh boy, I can't wait to hear why.
I mean, it's the same thing. It was on the instance of we were going to meet up with Homestead Padre, and he was going to do his thing, and that never happened.
There are other people that can marry you, right?
Yeah,
a judge.
But still, that's very legal, and we're trying to use some. I would like to take advantage of taxes and grants for women, first-time farmers, and minorities, and I feel like that'd be kind of different to do if you're a married partner.
Okay, so we'll move on from this later.
Welcome, Agora. Be a secret.
Hi there. How are you?
Good.
Hey,
thank you for being here.
Hold on a minute. I have a really dumb question. Is this Agora who started the Telegram?
Agora.
Yes.
It's very nice to finally meet you.
Agora. He's a rabbit.
I'm sorry, Agora. That's how I've been reading your name this whole time.
He pronounces it Agora, right?
Okay.
Agora. Right. I say Agora. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where I added that in, but
from the rabbit. Or goat. There's a goat breed.
Yeah.
So, Agora, thank you for being here. Despite all of Grant's blabbling, is there? What was your personal event like? Let's say over the weekend.
Oh, what I did on Sunday?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you want to share.
Went up to Virginia, way up in the mountains, beautiful country, and attended a workshop on how to get started growing mushrooms.
Nice. So
funny enough, I just picked a bunch of mushrooms today from some spent blocks I had bought last year.
Do you have Agora? Go ahead.
So you can take those spent blocks and break them up and put them into new medium, and they will sprout. New.
What I did is I kind of cut them up in quarters, and I buried them in each corner of my raised beds, and they ended up doing that, and just to help boost nitrogen content for the.
Are they coming up?
Oh yeah, they did. They did. It was this past winter. I pretty much had mushrooms all winter. I had more than I could eat, and I didn't really know what to do with them, so I fed them to the chickens. Oyster mushroom, lion's mane, kind of like all your big, heavy mushrooms.
Right.
Nice.
But we learned the medium that needs to be sterilized. So how to pasteurize, hot pasteurization, cold pasteurization of the medium, whether it's straw or wood sawdust or wood chips, that sort of thing.
Right. So you only get the type that you want and not any other type.
And no mold growing or bad bacteria, bad black bacteria growing. Yeah.
Sure. Neat.
So where did you go do that at?
Up in Virginia, Western Virginia.
Are you in Virginia?
No, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Whoa, you went far for that.
No, not really. I mean,
That's
about
across the border.
2 hours.
Well, I'm
2
sorry.
hours.
I'm looking at like
Yeah.
Virginia versus Georgia. I listen.
I'm in Western North Carolina, so
Okay. Well,
I
yeah.
just went camping up there. It's pretty.
The lady I bought my bricks from, a classmate of mine worked with her, and she won't let you anywhere near her growing. She pays you to take it to market and sell it to her and bring it back. She won't tell you how she grows it, how her watering schedule. She won't share any of her information, and it's not like it's rocket science, because she thinks if anybody else knows it, that you're going to put her out of business.
Well, then she must sell a pretty crap product if she's that terrified of competition.
I mean, it's a very good product. I've had some of the mushrooms. It's like, I guess she doesn't want competition.
I mean,
well,
nobody.
you just basically need to read some books, and you could do it.
Yeah,
the best
yeah.
books. There are a couple books by Paul Stamets that you can get that will walk you through
Amazing.
starting it up.
STAMENTS.
Yeah.
Right.
I got
Yep.
that saved.
Nice. So this weekend, we took the family huckleberry picking, and my daughter had picked her own huckleberries for the first time and was eating them. It was really fun. My son ate more than he saved, and so I did this little video of so here's our haul of our family, right? Here's how many mama saved. Here's how many daddy saved, and here's how many Milo saved. So which pile would you want to have? Mama's pile. Yep. So do you think next time we should save some more and eat a little less? So try to teach them delayed gratification.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. I don't really know if it's gonna if it's clicking yet, but I gotta plant that seed, right? So
Wow.
yeah.
Dude,
I told them
them.
we're gonna they're gonna kick us out of the forest because you're eating too many.
I had that in common
strawberry
with your
farm.
son. As I had mulberries picked from a bush the first time this year. We got one growing over by our shed, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" So it finally came ripe, and I was like, "Oh man, where have you been all my life? These things are fantastic." So
I had tasted my first mulberry last month. I didn't understand how wonderful they were. It blew my mind. Because there's a 20-foot tall mulberry tree at my great grandmother's house growing out of a gigantic magnolia, and I'm like, nobody knew it was here. It wasn't here when my grandmother lived there or anything. It's probably not that tall, but it's still tall enough you would need a really big ladder to get to the top of it. And I was like,
oh shoot,
I don't know. They were just very good. I'd never had one.
Hey, there's Jeremy. I had to scroll again. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. All right.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, it's fine. We're doing personal events, so we're just wrapping
Just
up.
in time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, me? I'm up now. Sweet.
Yep.
I got to spend a week at a place called Pine Cove. It's a Christian family camp, which I never thought that I would love it as much as I did. It was amazing. It truly was amazing. Just a great time to unplug from the craziness of this world and spend time with your family. They had water sports and zip lines and horseback riding, and it was there's a cat. Truly an amazing experience. So we got back late Saturday. So yeah.
All three of you.
All three of us, yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. It was cool. We went on the recommendation of some friends, and they're like, "It's amazing. You'll trust us." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, fine, we'll go." And we sat on a wait list for 2 years. That's how.
Wow. Wow.
And we got the call a few months ago that hey, we're up. We made the cut this year, and man, they weren't lying. It was it was intense. We boom 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 boom. We went all week long, But and it was good. It was really good, much needed for me and my family. So
Good.
personal event. There you
Yeah,
go.
man. I love it. Great. So come on, stupid internet. There we go. Killing with kindness. So I've been kind of like thinking about this for a little bit, and I have kind of like a good story that's, well, it's a story. I don't know if it's a good story that remains to be seen, I suppose. When I was at the job in Utah recently, where I was out of town for like 12 days, we're like running like our fiber optic cable like down the drill pipe, right? It has to get like clamped and stuff, and there's tons of money invested in this project. Like the Department of Energy is in on this. You can actually read about it. It's I'll throw a link later. But a bunch of universities, and so like everybody wants it documented. Like every little thing wants to be documented. So I'm taking pictures of this, taking pictures of that. I'm up on the rig floor. I'm taking pictures, and this driller is like, "Do I get to take pictures of your shit?" I'm like, "What? Go ahead. I don't think it'll do you any good, but that's fine." Like, I don't know if he's like doesn't understand that this is like a big like project. Like, I think in the article that I read today, it was like $220 million in this project.
Wow.
And so, like, yeah, I'm going to take a couple pictures because I have to. I have to write a stupid report on this. So, anyways, he was being a dickhead right away. And then, like, later on, I had to ask for a favor from somebody else to, like, take the forklift because I'm not certified for that forklift. Like, I'm not for that job site. And, like, take our spooler and put it on the trailer. That's it. So they did that. But then they were bored. And so they hung around and smoked and just, like, cracked jokes the entire time. I'm trying to like run the chains and get it all sharp down and blah, blah, blah. And, so you guys go to clown school? What does that even mean? Like literal clown school? And so I just like played into it. Like, yep, we both went to clown school. That's why I don't know how to put chains on this trailer or whatever. And so he tried to like help me. And I'm like, nope, I got it. And so he just like stood there smoking, watching me struggle. And then finally he came in, like it was hot. I'm all pissed off. He's like, "Here, let me do it." I'm like, "Whatever, go ahead." Since I only went to clown school, so I'm like, man, that guy just really got under my skin. So I like, man, I hope I don't have to see that a-hole tomorrow. Turns out I did have to see that a-hole the next day.
Oh no!
And so I just like kept my mouth shut, didn't say nothing, and like turned like the next part we have to like wrap our fiber around the casing to like make it inside, super delicate, blah blah blah, whatever stuff. And we're working right next to each other. I'm like, great, this is great. I wonder what stupid thing he's gonna have to say. I just kept my mouth shut, and it was somebody else's turn to get picked on. So I just like kept my mouth shut, and just like it was fine. He actually ended up being halfway decent. We're not like friends or whatever, but there's just like, hey, let's just sometimes saying nothing is the kindest thing you can do.
Well, I mean, yeah, you look at, the whole the Bible says turn the other cheek. You know, I mean, like,
Yeah.
there's something to be said for that. It goes against everything in my inner being.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like I want to destroy you verbally. If you're gonna, you know, like that's what I want to do, and I know that it's the wrong thing to do. Is to just I mean, like sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing.
yeah. Sometimes you really just want to throw a punch.
Well, like so
Right
we've
in
had
their
this conversation.
stupid face.
I know, like, right there in the neck. But like we've had this conversation with my son, like with literally within the last 2 weeks, because a friend of his is came up to him and said, like we were passing and like we were having to come home and they got a pool, and he's like, "Hey, can Brock come swim at our house?" And no, he said this to Brock. Hey, you want to come swim at our house? This was like 2 weeks ago, and we already had plans that day. And Brock said, "Well, no, I'm going to swim with my cousins." He goes, "Well, I didn't really want you to come anyway." He like rattled off all these mean things to my son, and my son just kind of let it roll off his back. And I told him, I said, "Look, like he's saying those things because he didn't get the response that he wanted. He wanted you to come swim. And then when you didn't agree to that, he wanted to belittle you, to make it sound like he didn't really want you to come.
Yeah, probably because he really, really wanted him to be there, and he couldn't.
He did. He did. He did. Absolutely did. But and that's just one thing. Like that kind of stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, and
And
kids
that's just
don't
his kid's
exactly
personality,
know
how to handle it.
Handle it.
Right. Well, and like that's just his kid's. These cats are gonna drive me nuts. That's just his kid's personality. And like we understand that, and it's okay. Like he's the youngest of three, and like that's. But I told Brock, my son, I said, look, the best thing you can do sometimes is just let it go, man. Just don't say anything. Because if you don't give him the response that he's looking for, if he's trying to rile you up and you don't give it to him, he's gonna quit trying. Which just kind of sounds like what happened there. Like you just kind of be like, "Yep, I went to clown school." Just played along with it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not getting the response that I needed. Let's find somebody else to pick on."
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents on it. But
the funny thing about this topic is, we were eating dinner. I've been gone for the last 4 days, so we get home, we go eat dinner, and my grandmother just got out of her doctor's appointment, so she comes by and sits with us at the restaurant. And the prior week before, she had come by the house. It had just rained for 2 hours. Everything is muddy, so we take her away to the pig pen, and she starts really going places. It's pigs. It's rained. There's going to be mud. Granted, she was raised on a farm. They had pigs. And guaranteed they also were in mud occasionally. So she really went off and went to a very deep place and cut me, hurt my feelings because it wasn't called for. Some of the things she had said was very personal, very targeted, and wasn't becoming of a grandmother. But she's always like this. So this time I did not hold my tongue, and I did not kill her with kindness. And tongues,
you just killed her.
got a lashing.
Tongues can be very sharp sometimes.
They can.
And it's one time I think I should not have responded the way I did, and I usually don't. But it's you push and push and push at certain points, and she doesn't let it go. I'm like, I'm trying to explain, like, yeah, we got to go get more hay so they can have bedding. And like, but she did not, and she just kept cutting deeper from a place she shouldn't have started to begin with. And I just kind of snapped on her, and I'm just like, no, I'm sick and tired of it. You're constantly mean. Who gives a shit about, like, it's okay. They're okay. They're fine. And she got really upset. I was like, you throw it out all the time. You're always mean to everybody. But yet when it gets thrown back in your face, oh, it's unacceptable. And so today she came to dinner, but pretty much looked at me and said, I have never worked a day in my entire life. I don't know what work is. And I just smiled and kept on drinking my tea. Because I'm like,
punch her in the face, didn't you?
I didn't want to punch her in the face.
I mean, sometimes I'd rather just get punched than hear.
It's my grandmother. I didn't want to.
I know. But back to Matt. Like, would you rather this dude just? No, of course you two weren't friends, but like let's just say, for example, you got you and a friend, and like I think some days I would rather just get punched by that person.
Yes.
Just get it over with than to hear them say certain words.
Yes, because that punch will fade away, and those words
will
always be.
They will stick with you for a lifetime. Which goes against everything. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. BS, man. Words hurt. They do. They stick with you for a lifetime.
They won't make you bleed, but
I'd rather bleed sometimes.
I would. I would have rather her hit me in the back of the head with a rock last week instead of her just. I would have too, because it'd have been a great story. She went straight for my character and personal integrity.
Yeah.
It was completely uncalled for. And then Dad gets on me because he gets home from work. Here's the last little bit of the argument. I'm like, I will apologize to her, but she needs to understand where she came was completely uncalled for. I don't care how old you are.
How old is
family? She's 76.
Still young.
She's borderline like losing her faculties. Like she can get
no,
away with
she
it.
see thing
she
is
can't get away with it quite yet.
She really ain't. But she's always been like this. She's always just been mean and hateful.
Where does that come from, you think?
Her parents.
That's what I'm thinking of. Like when
from the
people are
previous
like,
generation.
when people are mean, I'm like, what are they dealing with that they got to be a dickhead of me?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like I get it, but like that one day, it's just like I did not have it within me to keep
Yep.
my tongue, you know.
And you
keep
regret
my
it, don't
tongue-
you?
No, I
No?
don't. I'm sorry,
Oh,
because
you're
it's
no better
like,
than she is.
I mean, I do. I wish I hadn't
I'm joking, man,
taken
I'm
it
joking.
as far as I did.
Yeah.
But I don't regret it because at some point, you know, if you want to get down and dirty, we'll get down and dirty. If you know, it's like if you want to throw hate, I'll throw it right back at you, so you know how it feels. Because everybody is capitulating to you constantly because you're always so hateful, and it really
I mean,
hurts
like-
my heart because she's my last living grandparent. Anytime I try to connect with her, she's so hateful. You know, it's like loosen up,
Makes
son.
it
Be
hard.
nice.
Has she ever been not hateful?
No, not really.
I really want Agora to say what
He
he's
needs
writing.
to say what he's typing.
Speak up,
yes.
Agora. Let's hear it.
Yes.
No, just it's the philosophy of Stoicism where you can't control what she says to you or what she says to other people. So don't let anything that you can't control you should not bother you.
Yes.
But you can control how you respond.
Yes. And I failed to respond properly.
It's
And there's
good that
very
you recognize
little
that.
in life that you can actually control.
Yes.
So most of it, if you can't control most of what's going on in life, it shouldn't bother you.
like gas prices jumping 20 cents.
Doesn't. You have no control.
Exactly.
Gas prices jumped.
Yeah, here.
I haven't noticed.
Yeah, just got home. When I left, gas was like $3.25. Get home. It's 3.58.
It's Trump's fault.
Like,
Um,
you know, it shouldn't bother me. You're right. It shouldn't bother me. But man, sometimes it just gets under my skin because, like,
But like
you know,
Matt, for you,
maybe I'm having a bad day, and
Well,
like I was just gonna like keep to myself and like
exactly.
it's gonna be fine. But then somebody
That's when you're
opens
gonna
their
be
mouth,
tested.
starts running their mouth, and like, "Ugh, just stop talking.
He's
Exactly what
probably
you
trying to get a response out of you. And a lot of people, when you don't respond, when you just stay quiet,
Get mad.
that bothers them because they
Right.
didn't get what they wanted, and then they're not sure where they stand now.
But Matt,
Yeah.
like you said, when you had said that you might have been in a bad mood, it might not even been that. But when you are in those moods, that you're going to be tested and pushed to see if you can stay, if you can hold your tongue.
I thought I did pretty good considering I do not do well in heat, and it was
Yeah.
hot as f.
Yeah, but again, it's like you just may have been in the zone. You're there to work. You're trying to work. You don't need some jackleg over here making really terrible jokes while you're trying to focus
was
and get
pretty
your
bad
job
joke.
done.
Yeah. And like
Was that
I mean, it
Alaska
sounds like
or
no, this
Go ahead.
was in Utah 2 weeks ago.
Utah?
Ooh.
Still doesn't
But I mean,
get
it sounds
hot
like
there.
you
What
handled
was
it
it, like
pretty well, though.
70 degrees?
No, it was let's see, 95, probably 20-mile-an-hour winds. But like it's like and it's dry heat. So like you just get blasted in the face with more hot air than stale hot air.
But try drowning in humidity, 100% humidity.
Look,
Yeah,
98.
try it.
I don't care what kind of heat it is. I hate all of it.
I do too. I do
I
too.
hate all of it. So
Well, it
Stoicism.
reminds me of all the discussion. Reminds me of an article that I read years ago that's just served me really well, coming from a Christian perspective. That when somebody comes at me with some criticism, I look at the cross and I recognize that that there's two ways to view that. One is that God has judged me more severely than anyone can know or say. because because it required the penalty of God's Son to pay for my sins. So it was a severe judgment against me, but it was paid for on the cross. But the flip side of that is that if I am in Christ, God's opinion of me cannot possibly be higher than anyone else in the world. God's opinion of me is he sees me as Christ. It says in 2 Corinthians 5 that he made us to be sin, so that in him we might become, he made Christ to be sin, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. And so that has buoyed my mood, because I was constantly teased as a kid, constantly teased from like 5th grade all the way into graduation. And just like year after year, everybody, blah, 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 blah. And so really sensitive to that kind of thing. So if somebody comes along and there's a criticism, and I'm sensitive to it. I just think back about those two things, the flips, the negative and the positive. And I'm all right. I'm right as rain. It has helped me, I think, more than anything else in the past 20 years to deal with criticism and not lash out. And it doesn't always come right away, but sometimes I just need to go away, cool off, remember what I was told, remember what I was taught, and I'm all good again. So that's where I'm at.
I even think it's funny how everyone's different, because I know people that you can criticize them so many times and it just rolls right off their back.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say jealous. Me neither. I don't want to say jealous or but like, I guess almost like envious. Like, man, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could just let it roll off my back and not care. And maybe they do care. They just don't show it.
Right. Maybe they'll go home and drink to not think about it.
How old are these people usually?
76.
Yeah. So again, I would say that maybe comes a lot of the time with, age and wisdom.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm somewhat.
But I know people my age and younger that just let stuff like that. Just like, I don't care. Just rolls off their back.
They're telling you that, but not necessarily true.
Maybe there was
a couple people in particular that come to mind. Like I believe that they just let it roll off their back because they just don't care.
For the most part, I try to stick to that. It doesn't always work, obviously. There was
clearly
at my last job. Hey, that was if it didn't happen so recently, I probably would have forgotten about it. But here's one that kind of escalated maybe a little too far. So just before my daughter was born, like planned C-section, right? And so this was on a Tuesday. On Monday, I was like, okay, I will come to work, but like I gotta go at like a certain time. And we were working, more or less like out of town. Like it was like a 2-hour drive to get to this site. And normally we carpool, just like two guys in one work truck, go there, save on gas. And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna work till it's done, so you can drive yourself. Like, okay. And then I thought that was really weird, but like, okay, whatever. So like 4:00 comes around and like, hey, I'm gonna go. Like, well, we're almost done. Like, no, I feel like I'm like, it felt like I was getting taken advantage of. Like I tried to do you guys a favor, work today, since it's kind of like a big day tomorrow. So I'm going to go. And I left. And, baby came, dealt with the whole NICU thing. That was like its whole own deal. But I ended up having to like go back to work like at some point. Like, okay, we're stuck in the NICU again. This is awesome. Go back to work. And I didn't talk to that guy that I worked with for like almost nothing for like 3 weeks. There's 3 people in the company. I didn't talk to one of them for like 3 weeks. I was so mad. And he comes up to me like one Monday morning. He's like, what is your problem? Like, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, oh, whatever. Here we go. And so I just like try to like humble myself. Like, hey, sorry. Kind of been a dick and a bit of a bitch. And he's like, yeah, you kind of have. And so at least I got that footing kind of going in the right direction, just kind of like, whatever. I just want to get this over with. Like I knew this was coming.
But so have you.
But all right, so but think about it though, like in conflict, when you and someone are in conflict together and that person comes up and apologizes or admits wrong or admits, hey, I was a dick, it automatically disarms you, right?
Oh yeah.
Almost every time. And the same goes for any time that you can do the same, like, hey man, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Like I pushed these buttons and I shouldn't have, or I screwed up in this. And like just like that, it will right the wrong in a sense. Yeah. It reminds me of that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
In a way.
I think that's probably where I picked it up.
But yeah, like just be the bigger man and say, yeah, I screwed up, or hey, man, I think I upset you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
The problem is that when you apologize and they just kind of like say what they were gonna say anyways, like
but still you took the high road though, and you've done what you can do, and at that point you can walk away from it. You're like, hey, I tried.
Right. And again,
it's hard. It's very hard. It's very hard.
Is when you get like he has a lot of Matt. You have a lot of stuff like this at work. A coworker, a contractor here, and a coworker there. And I feel like your fuse will get tested differently, like when it's family, because it's like a whole nother, realm of just because I have a ton of classmates, and I don't really care for that many of them, and sometimes like. I'll ignore them. It doesn't bother me. Coworkers I've had in the past, I'll ignore them. It doesn't bother me. But like your last living grandparent, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it does change things.
Yeah.
But sometimes you regret you apologize because they were kind of like you tried to get things on the right foot, and then they were kind of like a dick when things were kind of like trying to get mended.
Yes, even after you were trying to just like capitulate. I mean, like, I'm explaining, and they don't stop. It's very difficult to keep restraining yourself.
Just like stand there and take it.
For over.
But, I mean, at that point though, you can walk away though. You can be like, I tried, and like, hey, Grams, look.
I was trying to.
I admitted I was wrong. I was trying to help out.
As I was walking away, she was still.
And I don't want to hear it anymore. So peace out. I'll see you at your funeral.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't exactly do that, but no, I get you.
Why not? I mean,
but like, like today, because my great grandmother's land we're trying to get butts up with her 10 acres. So she's
make good with your great grandmother, not your.
She died like 12 years ago.
Never mind.
Yeah. So that's the thing is, it's like hopefully at a certain point, and she's not my mama. It's like I don't have that. I don't care what my mother does. She can't.
What could you do to appease her though?
Nothing. Literally nothing. You do something she asked for specifically the exact way she wanted it. I spent like $200 on her to get her some junipers. These like ground cover junipers. They were originally $70. I got them. I talked the manager down to a good price. Okay. I've had them for like a year and a half now. She didn't want me to put them out then because she needed to spray and yada yada.
She's in Georgia too, right?
Yeah.
Get off.
And then last month,
record player.
Oh man, last month I was like, I'm free this week. This I threaten my cat with that all the time. Finals are coming in. The semester's slowing down. I was like, hey, I can throw these in the back of the truck and come up one day after class, and then plant these for you and bring the auger. She's like, no, I don't want you to. To what? Use your auger. I've got post hole diggers. I'll do just fine. I'm like, excuse me, no, thank
Wait,
you.
was she digging the holes though?
No, I was, but she didn't want me to use an auger. She wanted me to use post hole diggers on a slate rock mountain.
Just tell her to go back inside and drink her crumpets and tea. And
No, I'm not giving them to her anymore.
hold on. Y'all are in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Weed's not legal there, is it?
No.
Edibles?
No.
Just slip her some edibles.
No, she listen, trust me.
She will
already
mellow
did
out
that. She already
like
did
that.
that, and she freaked out.
She freaked out.
So, but yeah, and then there's just it's just small things. So at her daddy's house, you know, he's long been dead. We drove by the house one day with me and Dad. He showed me. He's like, "Oh, hey, well, there's flowers there." So I asked her, "Hey, when you lived there, when he was alive, did he have these blank specific flowers there?" And she says, "Yeah." Okay. I stopped by one day on the way after school. I pull in the parking lot. I go dig them up. Well, the house has been sold off to somebody. It's been condemned. Yes, there are no trespassing signs, but I go dig up these flowers anyway, take them up to her place and plant them in a very good location. She says, "Dig them up. I don't want them. I don't want them there. It looks too tropical. Move them." Excuse me, these were your father's. As sentimental as she is with everything, it's like if it's not exactly the way she wants it done, she doesn't care. She's not grateful.
Well, it's kind of like what Agora was saying. Like, can't control it.
You.
No.
Well, like, you're just gonna have to take a back seat.
Probably to deal with dogs.
Normally, it's probably the dude wakes up at 4:30 in the morning, so he's probably in bed.
I thought he was bored by us. That's my feelings.
Gonna jump bedtime.
Yeah. So it's like it's gonna get to a point though. Like she's not my mom. Like I have to, in my opinion, I feel like I have to keep a relationship with my mother. She's gonna get to a point with me that I just don't have to keep a relationship with her at all.
You just want her for the land.
No, I don't even want her. I don't even want her for the land because, like, at that point, it's like I don't care. I just don't. I can go somewhere else and get 17 acres or 27 acres.
Then why are you appeasing her? Why are you losing sleep over it? I mean, not literally.
I mean, I just figured it's kind of on subject. I figured I'd talk about.
Are you a people pleaser, Grant?
No.
But you are with family.
You are in a way, though.
With
sounds
her,
like it.
I was trying to be nice, and I've since decided today, with what the remarks she had made at dinner, I'm not going to anymore. I'm not going to really.
So new topic is
with her.
How to
kill grandparents.
Killed Grant's kindness.
Yeah, but
wait, say that again. How what?
How Grant's grandma killed Grant's kindness.
I dig it.
It's wordy.
With her specifically, it's just like, and I use example like she's not my parent, therefore I'm not beholden to her like Dad is. You know, I don't have to treat her on the exact same standard that Dad does because he's her son.
How about an example where you like a different example where you actually did kill like with kindness and you tried to do nice things and it got thrown in your face?
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Like planting the flowers. Like I went and got her those flowers and planted them.
Something else.
I don't.
Another one. Who else are you nice to?
Ignore people.
That's the best. That's the best they're gonna get out of you. Like, look, I'm not gonna be kind to you, so I'm just gonna ignore you.
Well, it's like when I try to be kind, you don't appreciate it. So it's like no more. You know, most people I do nice things from, nice things for. They all appreciate it tremendously, even when they're not family. You know, treat them like family.
Yep.
I don't really have terribly too many problems with people. I don't try to please them. I just don't deal with them if they're difficult. I'm stuck dealing with her. So I have to continue to just bite my tongue.
Land's adjacent to the land that you want.
The land we're trying to buy it. But she has no say in it. But throughout this entire process of us buying the land, she's constantly negative about it. It's like she doesn't want us to get it or be.
There might be something with that generation, though.
Probably.
Just old people in general. All right, so but here's the thing. All right, so I've been kind of joking around a little bit, and I hate the fact that it's family. But there comes a point where you have to just cut ties.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
say like this relationship is emotionally draining on me, and it's for my health, for my sanity that I cut this relationship off.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's going, when we get up there, that's going to happen, because we're going to be there. I'm going to actively be
Is
transforming.
this your dad's mom or mom's mom?
Dad's mom. My mom's mom was the one on hospice I took care of for 2 years full time
Kind
after I
of
graduated.
sounds
high
like your
school.
dad has a different idea how that's going to play out, but
Oh, and we all know that it's going to come to head, and it's so because it can't, because we all know he knows as difficult as she was, because me and him had talked later that evening for like 2 hours about what, about everything. He's like, he knows, he's lived with her, he knows how to. It's like you just have to ignore her. Basically, what we've talked about, you just have to not play into her constantly dragging you down, because he's lived with it his entire life.
It is a different, it is different. What Jeremy said nowadays, like, hey, I can't have you like doing this to me all the time. And it used to never be like that. It'd be like family first, always. That used to be like the mantra. And it's almost like
that is very much so how I am.
I shut my dad out for a while, because my dad, I don't remember how much of this I shared with y'all, but my dad had a stroke in 2012, and he's in a nursing home. And it's been a rough 11 years, but there came a point where I just said, look, I'm out. I'm sorry.
After
you're going to live in nursing. Yeah. Because it was like belligerent to his kids and to everyone. And I just said, man, I'm out. I can't do this
but like he couldn't help it because of the stroke, or it was always like that?
It was always like that. Well, so he was like that to my mom, and they were going through a divorce. He had the stroke, and my mom was going to stick around. She was, after the stroke, she's like, I'll stick around. We'll put our differences aside. He very clearly needs help now. Like his left side is useless. And, so she stuck around. She tried to help out, but like he became belligerent towards her and like around us, and then even towards us. And like it took a toll on my marriage. And to the point that I said, I'm out, man. I can't.
Sure.
Like it's not worth my relationship with my wife and my newborn child to take care of you for mistakes that you've made in your life. Now we've reconciled and everything's fine now, but when I say it's fine, I mean, he's still in a nursing home, and he calls me 10 times a day, and I answer maybe once a day if he's lucky. But like you have to set those boundaries. You have to take care of yourself.
And that's one thing that is going to end up happening when we get there. If we even get there, is that exact conversation you had with your father. That is, I feel like
really have a conversation. I just shut him off and blocked his phone number.
Pretty much what you said is what Dad is going to have to do with
quit answering
with her, because she wants something done. She wants it done when she asks for it.
Jeremy ghosted his dad.
I did, man. I did, absolutely. And I've done it more than once. Once because when he calls me 10 times a day, like I'm not kidding you. We were did you see the TikTok video where we built a chicken coop for my mom?
Yeah, that was cool.
All right.
You guys were so stupid with that stupid bucket.
It was fun though. It was really fun until he took control and tried to anyway, but my dad, my dad called me 10 times within 8 minutes.
Damn.
And so I finally picked up the phone and I lit into him and I said, if you don't stop calling me, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
See, that kind of answer.
Is he like cognizant? Like, is he all there? Most there, kind of there.
Yeah, it's questionable. Like he keeps you on your toes. Like you don't really know. Like
no question. Is that a moment like you showing your with kindness?
He keeps you on your toes. Like you don't really know if he's all there.
You on your toes. I thought you said something about he shows his toes. I'm like,
That'd be weird.
what? Is this like a Alabama slang thing that I don't understand?
No, I think there's a
No.
website for that. But anyway,
Now, Jeremy, may I ask, is that a moment that you probably should have been patient with him?
yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But see, we
100%.
all have these moments.
See, here's
We're
the
not
thing, though, like,
perfect.
he will call, and he's called me 3 times today. But then, like, I'll go like 5 or 6 days and he won't call me. But when he wants to talk, he wants to talk, and he'll call me like 5 to 10 times in a row, or in the course of a couple of hours. And if I'll answer his call, he'll talk for about 2.5 to 3 minutes, and he's done. But I'm too busy to stop and answer his call, which that hits me hard sometimes, because I shouldn't be so busy that I can't stop and take a 3-minute phone call from my dad
Sure.
just to say, hey, what's for breakfast? What was for lunch? What's for dinner? What you doing? What you watching?
Maybe pencil it in and you call him. That way it works a
Yeah,
little better. with
probably
your-
would be a good idea.
Yeah,
But then
so
he'll
you know
call
he's
you
going to
back
call
10
you
times.
anyway. You know he's going to call. You know it's going to be awkward. If you have it scheduled, you might it'll work a little better for you.
That's the thing. Like, it's not awkward though, because he'll call, and I'll ignore his call 5 times. I mean, I'm literally like in the middle of something, or I'm on a phone call, or on a conference call, or something, and I can't talk, or I'm
You literally cannot answer
On a
the phone.
podcast.
Right. on a
Doing
podcast.
TikTok.
I thought you were gonna say he's
Yeah,
called
what-
3. I thought you were gonna
what
say
I
he's
would
called 3
give-
times since we started.
I would lose my mind if he called me right now, but he's asleep. He's asleep. But if I would stop and answer his call, he'd quit calling me, and it would be awkward because he's like, just mentally, he's just not. He's not there. Like, I can tell him, I was like, you've got to quit calling me, like, because I'll finally answer, and I'll finally say, hey, look, you can't call me 5 times in a row. If I don't answer, I didn't answer for a reason. Sometimes it's just because I don't want to talk, but a lot of times I'm in the middle of something.
Dude, I'm gonna call you nonstop now. I'm just gonna be like,
It's a
Jeremy,
very
what you
quick way to
doing?
get
Hey,
blocked.
Jeremy, what you doing? Jeremy, what's you up to?
Very quick way to get blocked.
I'm not gonna do that to you, buddy.
I got a couple phone numbers.
You got a couple phone numbers?
Yeah. What number do you think I gave you?
I don't know.
My Google Voice number.
Oh, I got a few phone numbers too. Yeah. Mhm. Is it really?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Seemed easier at the time. It's a 406 number.
I gave you my
What?
real phone number.
I gave you my real phone number. Hold on, we're gonna
Christopher,
find
you
it.
also have my Google Voice number.
All right, it's good enough. It's good enough.
It gets to me.
I ain't complaining.
I still
Uh,
don't have your phone number, so I guess that's a good thing.
406 and
Hey, where do you live again, Matt?
dude, we
Montana?
have one area code. What area code for the entire state? I think you can figure out the area code.
763. No.
What?
Hmm?
All right, we're not doing this right now. You're not doxing my phone number. We're gonna knock this shit off right here.
The whole thing's sitting right
Did
here.
somebody snort?
I didn't necessarily snort. But
All right, I'm gonna
my
call up your
mouth
grandma and
clogged.
let her. Next time, can you record her a little rant about the pigs? Because maybe she was onto something.
No.
Oh, sorry, was that a little too personal?
No. No, I just don't care.
Sorry. Anyways,
Look at your address right here too. I can read that out on there.
Yeah.
don't do it. No, actually, I'm curious what it says, but after for the love of
There's
God.
only like 2 people watching. Nobody's gonna know.
Dude,
But it's recorded.
Whatever.
He can delete it, bro. He
yeah, that
edited
is true.
he edited our podcast down the other day so much. He
It
took
was
out
bad.
all.
It was
He
so
took
bad.
out all of the fun parts. I mean,
Grant and I were
probably was-
just BSing
We
the
were
entire time.
having-
We had
we
to
were
make
shooting.
everything up.
We were. It was so bad. It
You know
was
what Grant does
terrible.
all the time anyway?
Yeah.
Man,
But
if he talked as much then as he did this episode, I wouldn't have had to edit anything except maybe a couple N words.
the
But
topics, the topics were so bad. It's like
Well, who
I
picked
did
the
not
topic?
know.
everyone just
I
let
didn't
that
know-
one slide.
I did not know about the topics enough to be able to speak weightedly on them. I did not know enough. I don't give a shit about wildlife. If they're in my way, eat them. I'm sorry, I don't care. If it's in my way, eat them.
So I made the comment about taking the cats to the Asian restaurant, and then like that's when Agora left. I'm like, oh dang, did I say something to him?
Nah.
No, he's pretty Chad.
He is pretty Chad. Man, I was trying to think of. I thought there was something else about kindness. There was, man. I don't want to get like too much into like family stuff, but that's when I have to like bite my tongue the hardest for sure. It's like,
you mean with your family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also like, obviously, like with extended family.
Sure.
It's
Wife's
like,
family, extended family.
Well,
in-laws,
that's when you're
all
just like, I can't say nothing.
Yeah, you can't say
Because
what you
everything
say.
gets taken personally.
out of context.
Like you can't tell me you're a
personal,
fat lazy shit, and their feelings will get hurt.
Tell it to your family though.
No,
Your
but
family.
but their feelings will get hurt if I tell them that, and then you're the bad guy. But you're
When
the villain in their arc. They're there to make them better.
Before we got married, my father-in-law told my wife, he goes, Jeremy's a bit of a hothead, isn't he? Yep.
Because he doesn't have hair to cool them down.
Are you a ginger?
Are we just doing all like personal attacks? Should we do a roast episode next time?
Oh,
Just,
that'd be
like,
good. That would be so
roast.
good.
I'm not.
Like,
I don't
Grant
even know.
will be on the hot seat the entire time.
I don't even know what I would say. It just
He's on the hot seat every time. We just like
are you
rip into
talking about
him.
roasting me the whole show.
That's what I'm
Man.
talking about.
Oh,
It'd just
that'd
be like
kinda
every other
fun. Yeah, I
episode.
guess. I mean, y'all do it to me all the time. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out where Christopher
We
is.
have
I'm gonna show up with kindness one day, and bring
That's
your
Saving
house
Private
down.
Ryan, Pearl Harbor.
Oh yeah. Well, you missed the intro. I was
Saving
showing off
Ryan's
my
privates.
helmet, so that's why I had to have that
He's
background.
gonna go fight on the front lines in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Ukraine. They ran out of civilians to throw into their military, and so they're taking up Floridians.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Oh, that's desperate.
Floridians on the front line of Ukraine.
That's desperate.
I had somebody tell me
Isn't
to watch
it
out
already?
for China and Taiwan the next couple weeks. So we'll see what happens. But
Hey, you never told me what your contact said about that power plant.
because they never got back to me.
They
Oh,
died.
They're
They
they're
did too
compromised.
much.
Yeah, they need too much. Yeah, that's pretty funny. No, well, we can sit and BS for another 2 minutes, or we can do rounds.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. All right, and Christopher,
Okay.
what's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, so I'm in beta testing, trying to work through the software beta testing, and then the next thing I'm going to be
I
building.
almost kicked him out.
Say what?
Nothing. I tried. I almost kicked you out.
Oh,
I meant to hit the solo button.
Watch you do it to me.
So I'm doing software beta testing right now, which is where I'm pushing my device in different ways that I hadn't tested beforehand, and just seeing how it responds and finding bugs that way. So, just walking through this process, and then I'll be building a physical device so that I can actually have a full prototype. Again, it's not the first time I built a device, but this will be like the newest iteration of it. And I don't know the timeline. I just keep plugging away at it. I saw a short TED talk, like a clip from a TED talk, and they said she interviewed a lot of people and found out that, how do you, what's the measure of success? And the number one determinant was grit. And so I just having to, just keep at it. And I'm not as good a programmer as I thought I was. And so I, hit a lot of walls, but we're still plugging away, still making it. So the website is securecoop.com, and there's a mailing list, and there's a coupon below here, FarmHopLife Rocks. And the coupon also on the mailing list, you can combine those together. Get a pre-sale is going on right now, so that you can get a discount And there is an ebook there, and get on the mailing list so I can tell you with the updates and keep it going. It is going to be what is it? It is a coop door opener with phone notification. That's important.
Okay, let's rewind all of that and play it.
Right. I'm sorry, I'm rambling tonight. Coop door opener with phone notifications, highly reliable, intentionally, just to keep you updated with issues and things like that. And private, secure. I own all the data, and no one's accessing your data. And it's going to have a phone app, and it'll be on your coop, and it'll open and close the door. Or if you already have a coop opener, like Jeremy does, it's going to be an add-on that can watch what your coop is doing. So either way, you keep an eye while you go on vacation.
Does it work on Jeremy's device in his phone yet?
It would. Yeah, there's no
Would
reason
it work if I didn't have cell signal like I didn't have last week?
You'd have to have Wi-Fi to the coop, and if you don't have Wi-Fi to the coop, there's ways around that. You can make that work, like an extender, range extender.
Yeah.
But, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yep. Nice. Good.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Grant.
Hi.
Too busy with IBC toads.
I was actually stacking IBC totes today. I stacked about 6 of them too high, so I had to stack them on top of each other. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Too high?
No, stacked 6 too high in a row. I didn't stack 6 of them.
I was like, damn, that's tall.
No,
Ladder to heaven.
I just put one on top of the other 6 times.
Okay.
Anyway.
So they're like 36 feet tall?
No. They're like 8. And there's 6 stacks of them.
Oh.
Okay. Sure.
Anyway.
Cool.
Totes and goats, go on.
I've been doing math, making my business plan. That's all I'm doing. If you live in Georgia, okay.
If you live in Georgia, okay.
I mean, yeah, Georgia's a very big state, so you be good.
All right. All right. Jeremy.
Best plug I think I've ever heard in my life. Oh,
that was great. Love it.
DeweyLikeDonuts, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Didn't you have like 10,000 subscribers on YouTube? Was it 10 or was it 1,000?
It's probably more now.
No, it was like almost 11,000.
It's over 10. Nice.
It's 11,000.
Nice.
Good, man, that's awesome.
That's on YouTube. Instagram's like 30,000, and TikTok's like 245,000. But yeah,
Nice.
Chickens, homesteading, prepping, food, stupid stuff.
You have very
Fan
good
hat.
production quality.
Fan hat wars.
Where's my fan hat? Oh, I think it's out in the garage.
And the guy earlier was Agora Crops. I just interviewed him, and I did it through a phone call, and it's bad. I'm trying to fix it. It's really bad.
You can only fix so much audio.
He's busy. I don't think you guys understand how busy this guy is. Like, he doesn't have that much time to dick around with whatever this is. So I had to catch him on the road, and his phone kept dropping. So I had to catch him. And he's not on any other social media anymore. He deleted his Twitter, I think.
Oh, did he really?
What is he on? Anything?
Nothing. He's like, dude, I got to get off Twitter. I got too much to do. That's how busy he is.
Well, what is he doing then?
Dude, he's learning about mushrooms.
Well, other than that,
getting
what's
chickens.
He doing?
Well, he's hustling.
You talk to him. You figure out what he's doing.
He's such a busy man.
He's on Telegram.
Yeah,
nope, I think he left his group.
He left the group.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
It was renamed, wasn't it? That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Homestead Project has it now.
Am Matt DeRozier of FarmHopLife.com.
He lives at.
Oh, stop it.
213.
All right. Mute. Okay. I'm Matt DeRozier of FarmHopLife.com. We're a traveling hosted family. I have a podcast, do interviews, and I like go on farm tours and stuff. All right. Bye. Next week, I don't know what we're talking about. We're going to talk about it right now. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching.